Great interaction today in the chat on the YouTube stream, and some folks were commenting about us and the lack of trades in our mock draft 2.0 that we just did in the 5 o'clock hour. And what I would say is that it's hard to do the trade up, trade down thing, if you're not controlling every pick. Like, certainly we could have traded down, obviously, when we were on the clock. I thought about it at those second round picks especially. And I also thought about trading up, but I also admit that it's hard to do without the best available list in front of you. And we're using PFF's mock draft simulator. And while you're simulating, they don't give you said thing. But what I want to do is I want to actually run through that scenario to let people know what it looks like. So we're gonna run it back here. We're gonna do a lot quicker. We're not gonna do like a full 3-round mock here. But I just kind of want to look at the board at 36 if. At 40, if we trade 36, and I'm going to package 78 with it to get back into the first round. So what does that look like, and how would that work? So I'm going to hit start draft again, and we got Caleb Williams on the clock. This time I'm just going to go straight forward. I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. We pulled a wacky and did selected JJ McCarthy in our one last hour. But I'm going to go Jaden Daniels here. And then I'm going to... I got to restart it. This is the worst, Ant, when this happens to me. I get one setting wrong. It goes on turbo mode, and then I can't... Yeah, I want to adjust the settings, and I want to start over. Yes, I sure do, PFF, because I can't do the exercise if you don't play nice with me. So, Chicago Bears take Caleb Williams. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take... quarterback out of LSU, Jaden Daniels. So, really what we're going to look for is when the run on tackle starts here. You got May, you got Harrison. So far, so good. Neighbors, excellent. Giants take McCarthy. So that's a little higher. Probably Dallas Turner here. Still no one. Adunze, hopefully at 9. Yep, there you go. This is ideal. Then the question is what happens to the Jets. So they take Fuaga. Okay, there goes Fuaga. And we've already got Alt off the board. Bowers to 11 in Minnesota. Verse to the Broncos, similar to what we just saw. Fashanu, okay, now we're starting to get a little nervous. Latham, now we're really nervous. And the question's really going to become, does Amarius Mims or Tyler Guyton come off the board? I'm going to say before 21 in Miami. Because at that point, I'm going to pause it and make a trade. We got Fontenot off the board, Barton off the board, Nix off the board. What's going to happen with the Steelers? They take Brian Thomas Jr. Okay. So now we could try to trade up with Miami. And let's say we want 21. We're going to give you 36 and 78. That's a maybe, according to PFF, in terms of when I offer this. But the idea here is that we're going to then take Amarius Mims, the tackle out of Georgia. Oh, nope, I want to offer that trade. I want 21 for 36 and 78. Offer trade. Sweet. Okay. Got it. They accepted it. Offensive tackle. Now, we could obviously go Tyler Guyton. Jordan Morgan's probably a little rich here. Kingsley Suamatias mocked some in the first round, but we did this specifically because Amarius Mims falls into the 20s, and then we hit draft and then see what happens. Eagles are on the clock. They take Byron Murphy. You get the Vikings. We can actually speed this up because I really just want to see what happens now. Guyton to the Cowboys, yada, yada. On down it goes. What happens when the Commanders are on the clock at 40? So now, you're looking at the same group of corners that we looked at in the previous draft. You're looking at, if you want a bigger kind of guy, TJ Tampa out of Iowa State. 6'2", 200, got pretty good fluid hips. Does he have the ball production, et cetera? Not necessarily. We'll see if that's their style. Sanders still, Kamari Lassiter. You got a couple of edge guys. You got Rakestraw, by the way. You can go receiver with Roman Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, edge, Adisa Isaac. Like, you're looking at that same group of players. But, and this is kind of why I like this exercise, you don't have 78 anymore. So now you've got one less. So we'll push receiver to later. Well, now you might want to be like, I don't know. Receiver, we got to get one now. We're at 67. If we think we need one coming out of this draft. And I would say the same thing for edge. And, the way this receiver group falls, you kind of get oh man, it's frustrating because you have Ladd McConkey fall all the way to 35. Xavier Legette goes 38, Troy Franklin 39. If any of those guys fall, I think they're the easiest pick here because they're in that second tier behind Odunze, or I guess third tier. Odunze, Neighbors, Harrison, tier 1. Brian Thomas is kind of by himself in tier 2, depending on who you ask. And then tier 3 is pick your flavor of Ladd McConkey, Troy Franklin, et cetera, et cetera. So with those guys off the board, and all you need is one of them to fall. All you need is one of them to fall to you at 40, and this looks like a genius move. You're now, though, in kind of that second wave of corners. Your Wiggins, your Terrion Arnolds, your Kool-Aid McKinstry's, all those guys are off the board. And do you like one of these corners, or do you, I would say, kind of reach, but not really hugely reach for an edge? But you have your quarterback, and you have your left tackle. And this is why I think this is so appealing to me. It illustrates I feel better about this than I do, and depending on how you feel about Patrick Paul, I should say, who we took in that mock draft, I would tend to feel better about we got a first-round tackle and a first-round quarterback, and we'll live with 5 top 100s versus 6 if you can pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm willing to look defensive just because of, again, how rich the draft is offensively. I think there's not a lot of, for us anyway, impact players defensively that we should, continue to let slide. So I would be looking to go defense here and then focus on, building up our team offensively in rounds 3.
Yeah, so I would probably be looking corner or edge here. Tampa is definitely an option. Sanders still is an option. Lassiter's an option. I don't know what they think of Braswell. I don't know what I think of Braswell, to be honest. I haven't really researched him a whole lot. I know that when we talked to Dane Brugler this morning, a podcast that'll be out Monday on Take Command, and we'll play some of that for you here on the radio show. He really likes Adisa Isaac out of Penn State. So for the sake of funsies here, I say I'm going to hit Adisa Isaac, and then you get to see what happens at 67, and you kind of get that idea of okay, well, what corners are then still on the board? Can you get your guy there? Are you then going wide receiver there? You see the Keon Coleman's, the Marshawn Nealons, all those guys, Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan come off the board, and it's oh, okay, well, now I see why that was tough, because now only getting one of those guys, my decision at receiver is a lot harder. You could go like a Malachi Corley, that Curtis Samuel, Debo Samuel weapon kind of guy. You could go Johnny Wilson, big slot / tight end, basically. You could, Devontae Walker, speed. There are some guys there, but it's not the caliber even of the Jalen McMillans and the Jalen Polks that just went in between picks 40 and 67. So that's kind of the exercise. That's the kind of decisions that the Commanders and every team this time of year is making. They're doing mock drafts of all kinds to try to figure out, okay, if we put ourselves in these scenarios, what is it that we're going to do? So they're prepared when they get on the clock to really have an idea, and you're not second guessing your board. You've done it, you've thought about it, and you feel confident in the pick that you want to make. Just giving you, of course, a little bit to think about here. And again, if you're listening right now on your radio, and this is a little harder to follow, we're all throwing out names this time of year. I know it's hard. The good thing for you is we do have a visual element to the show, and we will put all of this up on YouTube at Craig Hoffman and at the Team 980, make it a little bit easier to follow along. But you kind of get the gist of it, certainly, even in just the audio. When we get back, no visuals needed for Dave Johnson. The man is a word picture painting legend. The play-by-play voice of the Wizards joins us one final time for the season. It's the final home game. Final game is Sunday in Boston. One final visit with Dave Johnson next here on the Team 980.
What's up, kiddos? It's your boy Clinton Yates from ESPN. It's the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. Tell your mama I said what's up.